Welcome back. You watching The Agenda. So protests have broken out at the East London Magistrates Court, where Televangelist Timothy Omotoso is expected to make his appearance. As SABC News reporter Sidima Mfeko is covering court proceedings and joins us live now. So Sidima, earlier on in conversation, we heard the protest highlighted a rare but powerful moment where faith is being used as a tool for justice rather than a cloak of immunity. Take us through what's happening where you are. We understand that protests have just broken out.
Absolutely, Xolisi. Members of different political parties are right here behind me, the ANC as well as the EFF. They're actually saying what they're actually singing right now, that Timothy Omotoso should be, deported out of South Africa. And also, we've also just heard now that the matter is delaying a little bit. I'm going to ask my colleague to show you what really is happening right here behind me. But when we were, speaking to the officers of the court, we heard that we will not be able to film or be part of the proceedings that are going to be happening later on in the day, as this matter is one that should be heard privately, because they're treating it now as an inquiry, looking into, issues of identity, documentation from Timothy Omotoso, and then only then we will hear from the inquiry what is going to happen next. But in terms of the message that is being relayed here, everyone is saying that Timothy Omotoso must leave the country and for the protection of the people. But now to speak to us about their stance in this particular matter, we speak to Ondela Sokomani, who's the regional chairperson of the ANC Youth League in the Khubusana region. Sir, thank you very much for your time. We're not going to be a part of those proceedings. No one is going in there except for Omotoso and the people who are involved. What are your reactions to that?
We are taken aback by that, because our understanding was that this would be a bail application. We would, during the course of the day, we will inquire from those who have the know-how in terms of the legalities, in terms of the proceedings of how the court operates, to further explain to us as to what has led to this now being treated as an inquiry as opposed to a bail application. However, that does not change. We're unflinching in our stance in relation to Omotoso not having a space within our societies to operate, and this culture to operate within the confines of Buffalo City Metro. We do hope that the court will handle with care and be meticulous in its handling of the facts and proving its case beyond reasonable doubt to ensure that Timothy Omotoso is brought to book and is incarcerated, and if needs be deported to his own country of birth.
All right, thank you very much for your time, sir. That is Mr. Ondela Sokomani saying that, they are steadfast in their message that they don't want Timothy Omotoso and his church near the Buffalo City Metro. But now to speak to us further from the EFF is Ms. Inam Kula. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. What are the reasons for you to be involved in this particular match? What is it about Timothy Omotoso that you don't want?
Look, we're here as the economic freedom fighters, alongside the clergy, alongside traditional leaders and other political parties, and the community at large of BCM, to oppose the presence of Timothy Omotoso not only in BCM but in South Africa. I think we're all aware that Timothy Omotoso got away on due to technicalities, and not that he was innocent. So what we're saying is that it speaks to a larger question of the injustices of the justice system, and so we want to say that we stand in support with victims of gender-based violence, and we want the judiciary and also the government to look into the structural inefficiencies of the justice system.
Yeah. And in terms of the complaints of the students who stay in this street particularly, who have been complaining about the church that's here and operating beyond, the evening further till the morning, what do you say about that? Have you looked into that? What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's bifolded, right? I think the first issue is that young women who are students don't feel safe with the presence of Timothy Omotoso and his church here. And then the second one is in terms of the bylaws and in terms of the zoning. We're not sure that they got the necessary requirements to be a church that is functioning here. So that is something that we need to look up with the municipality and see whether they're actually allowed to be here.
And from here, what next?
No, we're going to put the gas on the pedal. We're not going to stop protesting. We're going to be here as the economic freedom fighters, because what we need to understand is that gender-based violence is violence, and it must be met with the same amount of violence that it is.
All right, thank you very much for your time. That is Mr. Inam Kula, who is the Central Command Team member of the Economic Freedom Fighters. They are saying that really the sentiments are the same, from all of them, that they want Timothy Omotoso out of here. And they're saying they're going to question the legality of having a church operating in the CBD near a university institution facility and also a residence for students. And actually the operating hours of the church, which is said to be operating until the early hours of the morning around 4 a.m. and 5 a.m.
And Sidima, just before I let you go, has Omotoso or his legal team responded to the arrest? Okay, Sidima, let me give it a bash again. Has Omotoso or his legal team responded to the arrest? Okay. We'll try and get Sidima a bit later on in the line, but thanks very much indeed for that update.